Pokemon Legends Arceus is now in the wild. Everybody's out there making their first Pokeball throw and creeping through the grass in this big new world. But there is a whole nother world after you beat the main game. The post game in Pokemon Legends Arceus is something we've all been super curious about. And Gabe over here, he thinks this might be the most challenging Pokemon game of all time. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. We are here to talk about the Pokemon Legends Arceus post game. My guy Gabe has been going hard on this game since it came out. From the moment it released, Gabe, I think you've basically been living in a Pokeball. And so we're going to get your thoughts, talk about the post game. We're going to avoid story spoilers, specific battle spoilers, specific Pokemon spoilers. But obviously, this is a post game discussion. So if you do not want to hear what's waiting for you at the end, then it's okay if you tune out. Hit that like button, though, if you're excited for Pokemon Legends Arceus. And let us know what you think the most challenging Pokemon game is in the comments down below. And if this one sounds hard to you.
Pokemon Snap on the N64 was challenging, but nothing like this, Zach. I'll have you know, I've fainted a number of times.
In real life, too.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever fainted in real life, but boy, dude, you think that, hey, it's Pokemon, it's easy. I know what I'm doing. And then stuff gets real towards the end of this. It's been an experience to just dive into the post game here, the end game, for the last however many hours. I can't tell anymore because everything's a blur. Because like you said, maybe I should get in a Pokeball myself for a little while and just try to cure myself of whatever status ailments I may have right now. But yeah, I've been having fun with it for sure.
That's awesome. So let's just start off broad stroke. Like, do you think the post game is satisfying? Is there a lot of content there? You know, this is a sort of differently structured Pokemon with the open world, but also with the main goal of completing the Pokedex. Once you reach the end of the story, is there a lot to do?
Oh, dude, there's so much to do. Now, whether you want to do it or not, it's totally up to you. But you get this big quest line that gives you the opportunity to catch certain legendary Pokemon. I won't get into it, but that's specifically what this quest line is. You go catch a bunch of them, and then even after that, one more quest line opens up for an even bigger legendary Pokemon, and after that there's an even bigger. So yeah, there's a lot to do as far as just quests that the game provides for post game. On top of that, you do have the regular structure of trying to catch everything,
finish up those Pokedex entries, get everybody to research rank 10.
Oh man, it's hard.
Even though they did a nice job. I mean, I'm sure people will fall on both sides of the line here, but I like that it's a bit of a reduced Pokedex this time around. It keeps it manageable. And it's an interesting, it's a cornucopia of the different genres, the different regions. They put together, I think, a really nice ensemble. We're not going to mention specifics, but I think a lot of people want to know, are there a bunch of interesting Pokemon to catch? And yes, there are. And some are tied to past save files. There's specific quests you were telling me about that you only get access to if you have save data from other Switch Pokemon games, but you have to beat this one to even open those. So it's a really nice, I guess, tribute to those who have stuck with the franchise this whole generation.
I like what I was gonna say the Pokemon company, but Game Freak, I like what they do with that. Where a new Pokemon game comes out, and that's gonna probably keep happening. These sell an awful lot. But they always incentivize you for having saves from previous one. Even if you go back to Sword and Shield, if you had a Let's Go save, you get a couple little bonuses there, and the same here. Right. Just like you mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty darn neat. Okay, so we're obviously going to get into the difficulty discussion, but first, what level were you, when you sort of reached the post game? Do you have a recommended level, and are there any specific items or things that you really suggest players use or have with them once they do breach past the main storyline?
Without getting into specifics, there's a certain spot where max revives are just an absolute necessity. Okay. So I feel like going to purchase that recipe as soon as you beat the game is just imperative. Even though it's a little bit expensive, but you should have enough money by the time you beat the game if you've been catching a lot of Pokemon, which you should be doing. On top of that,
point of the game.
Yeah, for a level, dude, you got to be 65 and above if you want to tackle the stuff I'm talking about. Yeah. If you're out there just shiny hunting or just trying to fill the Pokedex, whatever, be pretty much whatever level. Because if you've gotten up to that point story wise, let's say your starter evolution is Typhlosion. He's gonna be at least 65 or something, and you're okay. He might even be a little bit lower if you didn't grind. Even if he's like 60, like you're okay. But taking on some of those legendary Pokemon, it's not easy. If you have a party that's pretty underwhelming. Do not try to use this as an opportunity to like take your main and think, oh, I'm gonna beat him, and then I'm gonna take some lower level Pokemon to rank him up with all the experience. But it's not like you're gonna need a strong team.
So did you find yourself grinding at all to get there, or were you kind of able to go normal progression and just naturally move step to step to step?
I haven't done any real grinding.
Okay.
Like my grinding in this game is doing side quests I don't want to do. Like, because sometimes the side quests will just give you like this is a like extreme example, but it will give you like the equivalent of a potion.
Okay.
I don't need a potion. I could just go buy or make a potion.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, there's still little like fun story stuff that certain side quests have, but oftentimes I don't want to do the side quests, but it helps with you know, ranking up certain things and sending you out into the world to do certain tasks, so it's not just wandering aimlessly. So that's the type of grinding I do, where I try to run into battles decently often so that I can
finish up those entries.
Yeah, so
which is a part of the end game as well. Do we want to get into the thing that you're given once you do reach the post game, or do we think that's
no.
Do you want to tell the people?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. Good guy, Gabe. Keeping the surprise. Well, there is a special like gift, I guess we'll say, that I think is really rewarding. A lot of games kind of suck at giving you something valuable once you complete it. It's like, oh, now you can play New Game Plus. But Pokemon Legends Arceus, I think, really delivers a really nifty gifty at the end of the experience. But let's get to that experience in terms of challenge. Okay, Pokemon is historically known as a game that does start off very easily, and occasionally it will reach a point where it's like, okay, this is challenging. Now, Pokemon Legends Arceus has no breeding, so there's less ability to kind of go in there and tweak your lineups, but you're telling me that this has some really difficult post-game content, some stuff that you were like, you didn't know if you're gonna get through.
Dude, more than anything, it's like the end. Like the end of the mainline quests that they give you for the post-game.
So not the main, but the end of the post. Yeah, just to be clear, you're not talking about the main first ending.
No.
The main post game ending. Okay.
Yeah, I'm only talking post game stuff here.
Gotcha.
That it becomes tricky. You get into a battle that has several different layers. Mm-hmm. Let's say it has 3 levels. And in between those 3 levels, you get no time or opportunity to heal whatsoever.
Okay.
So you got to be really smart with how you go about things. You got to, you know, maybe lose a time or two and see what Pokemon gets sent out in what order, so you can make sure to have their weaknesses lined up. So, and the thing is that you didn't, like, you do it, I'm doing in quotes, and then you think, hey, I'm good. But you're not expecting this next thing to happen, but then something else fun happens, and you're like, oh, well, I'm not really ready for this. So it'll take you a few tries. I'm not ashamed to say that it took me 2 additional tries, so 3 total.
Oh, 3 tries. Okay.
Yeah,
it's like 2 doesn't sound that bad, but 3, I mean,
no, it's a long thing. It's not quick.
Okay.
it takes like 15 minutes each. Like it was a thing.
Beyond that battle or that sequence, once you get past that, is there still challenge? Like, do you find your time roaming around? Are there still things that are bringing challenge? You're saying it's potentially very, very difficult. Is it just that sequence, or is it beyond that?
The rest is personal difficulty. Like, how difficult do you find it to sit here for an additional 20 hours to find every Pokemon?
Self-imposed difficulty.
Yeah, I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say, like, Arceus is in the game. And the way to see Arceus, you need to have every Pokemon. You're not seeing him without that. So if you want to get to like true like post-game endgame, you got to do all that. And it just takes a whole lot of time.
Which I think contributes to difficulty as well. I mean, like you said, it's a different type of difficulty, but there is more complexity in the Pokedex than ever before. They're requiring you to do more than just catch a Pokemon. You have to catch a Pokemon. You have to, in a lot of cases, battle a Pokemon, feed it certain things. A lot of different nuance to each entry. It's not just one and done. And thankfully, they did keep the Pokedex limited, because otherwise this would take an obscene amount of hours. But still, Do you remember when you ended, like what your Pokedex count was at, like your completed Pokedex? Like how many entries did you have complete?
Yeah, 141.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had about 100 more to go through, which is substantial considering, you played a bunch of the game to get there. The rifts are another element that I do think contributes to that challenge. And now that, we're talking about it, you do have me realizing that they did make moves to make this a more engaging and involved Pokemon in many ways. And I think, it's obvious that the challenge here is, you can choose to kind of go about it your own way, but there is challenge to have. And in some of that post-game content, you will be met with inevitable challenge. And I love that about this game. It sounds like the post-game is very well done. It sounds like there's a lot. Are you going to keep going for the complete Pokedex?
I want to, man.
Do you have it in you?
Yeah, I don't want to shiny hunt. Like that to me is a little like too mundane. I run out of podcast episodes to listen to because but then you also got to listen for one because they make this like very distinct sound. So you also
no podcasts in Pokemon, no text in Pokemon. You gotta give your attention, man.
Yeah, no. But I want to try for the full Pokedex. Not full shiny. No, that's crazy.
That's too much. That's too much. So obviously everybody is really enjoying this new evolution for Pokemon, and it sounds like you, Gabe, liked the challenge that they really threw at you at the end there. Do you think that the Legends series can continue in a way that maybe like does tilt a bit more hardcore, like does kind of encourage like, hey, even the beginning, we're going to up the ante a bit?
Dude, there's a little game called Elden Ring coming out soon, and you ride a horse around that and you go do similar-ish things. But these are Pokemon, I guess. But dude, I wouldn't mind if we got a Pokemon game that was just kind of difficult throughout the entire thing. Now that goes against what Nintendo does with these and make them as mass market as possible, but I'd love it because having a Pokemon experience where I'm like not confident that I'm gonna win and like be like kind of nervous, like, oh man, I hope I did it right this time because I just died like 2 more times. That took like half an hour of my life away. I haven't done anything. So, like that was exhilarating and different enough for a Pokemon game that I would definitely want more of that for sure.
Yeah, I hope they find a way, like you said, like they're always going to kind of cater it towards being accessible. But, in this one, your trainer can go down just by getting attacked by wild Pokemon. I think that's a step in the right direction.
Dude, they take your best items.
Yeah, they do. Dude, they take your best items and you can't get them back, which is good.
The worst part is like you go into the rifts and you pick up those like nuggets, the gold ones that are worth like 10,000 at the store for you to sell. I had like 3 of them. I fainted once because like I picked up my phone, I was sending a text and I didn't know I was getting a text by a Pokemon. I didn't have headphones on and come back, oh, you lost your nuggets.
You heard it here first. Don't text in Pokemon. It's very important to safety and staying alive and keeping your best items. I like that. I like that there is more at stake. I like that even early on, I felt like, I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes, but I felt like a lot of the wild Pokemon were stronger than normal. Like there's a lot of opportunity to like one shot even your starter, which I think is pretty nifty. It didn't feel unbalanced, it didn't feel unfair, but I did appreciate that, there's the inherent difficulty because this is like a new experience. And then it did seem like they kind of pushed you a little bit, which I think is good. I like Game Freak pushing us a little bit, and I hope they continue to do that. I think players have a lot to look forward to in the post game. This is one of your favorite post games, right?
Yeah, I'm not even the type to hunt for shinies or whatever, but I got one, and that was exciting as hell.
Well, they up the percentages, right? It's exponentially, literally exponentially more likely to find shinies here.
Well, the funny part is like the one I got was I didn't get it in a rift or anything like that. I was like, wait, what the heck? Why is that? Well, I can say what it is. It doesn't matter. They know the evolutions are in there. I got a Espeon and it's
such
green.
a pretty Pokemon.
I said, hey, why is that green? That looks wrong. Because you get it gives you an audio cue as well. When you spawn, like I heard something and I turned, but my character turned because I heard it like off like to the side of me. So what the hell is that? I look like Espeon, but it's green or whatever color it is. It looks like green to me. Yeah, it was a cool experience.
Well, thank you for giving us your attention. Hope you all enjoyed this video and hope you're enjoying Pokemon Legends Arceus. It sounds like everybody is having a blast with the game. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Let us know how you feel about this game's difficulty in the comments down below. Do you like your Pokemon games to be challenging or do you like them to be a cakewalk? Love to hear from you. That'll do it for this video though. So make sure to stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, my friends, SwitchForce out.